Okay, so we're going to talk about segmented bar graphs and technically marginal distribution. Okay, so we've been given this information about a company, and this company checked out the blood levels of, we could say, almost all of their employees. Okay, so on the top in our columns meaning things that head downwards, these deal with all of the ages of the population. So people under 30, people between 30 and 49, and people above 50. And then in our rows, we're dealing with just the blood pressures. Okay? So low blood pressure, medium, and high. We marginalize this. The very first question asked us to find the marginal distribution of blood pressures. So what we did is we added up all of the people under low, and the total was 95. So 95 of the total people had low blood pressure. And we could find them as percentages. 27 out of 95. We could divide that to find the percentage. And that would be the percentage of people under 30 with low. And then we can do the same thing here. So you can do that for low, medium, and for high. Okay. So for instance, again, we added up all the mediums. We discovered that 232 people had medium blood pressure. And in the first category, 48 out of the 232 were under 30, which means this specific category, 20%, took up about 20% of medium. Okay. The second question asks us to categorize it by age. So age would be going downwards in our columns. When we added up how many people were under 30, there were 98 people under 30. So under the same category, we found that 48 out of the 98 people had medium blood pressure. Well, that's a very different percentage. It's almost 50, 48.9%. So this one category had two very different decimals or percentages, and that completely depends on how we're marginalizing the study. Okay. Now they want us to represent this with a segmented bar graph. So we're actually going to have to write in these other values here. And now you have them written down, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to write them all down here. I can get this last one here. This is 93 out of 232. So I'll do the red ones myself. Do you have all the blue ones?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'll write this here. And we're probably going to actually have to find these as percentages because we're going to do these as. Have you done them as percentages yet?
No.
No. Okay. Help me with the blues here. Okay. What does this age group add up to?
179.
179. Great. So this will be 37 out of 179, 91 out of 179, and 51 out of 179. And what does the other category add up to?
197.
197. So same idea. Okay. A segmented bar graph are bar graphs that are going to stack on top of each other. 97 and 73. So just to give you a quick idea, we'll just do the percentages of one of them. So let's just do the percentage of this conditional one, of people under 30. We're specifically going to look under this category, for people under 30. So we're going to need to find the percentages of all the blues. We already have one of them to be 48. What is 27 divided by 98? I think that's roughly almost 27.
27.5.
Yeah, 0.5. So we're going to round to 27. We'll round this to 49. And this one's what, roughly 23?
23.4, yep.
Okay, great. The reason those were almost on is because the number below is almost 100, so it's pretty
Right.
simple to see that. So segmented bar graph. If I was to make this bar graph, let's scroll down here. One of the bar graphs I can make could be organized by age. Okay. And in other words, what I would do is U30, so people under 30, people between 30 and 49, and people who are 50 plus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. So I want these to be percentages. Okay, 20, 40%, 60%, 80%, and 100%. So what we just discovered, and we're going to categorize these low, medium, and high. We're going to use different colors for each. In the bar graph, I'll try to use different colors. We'll use low as green. Purple will be medium. And high, I guess in this case, we'll use yellow for high. Okay? So our low was 27%. So in other words, we go from here up to 27%. So I'm going to estimate that this is to be 27%. Okay? So I did this in green. This is 27%. Okay? Now, we're going to stack this. The next percentage we got was 49%. So we have to figure out how high we have to go. We said it was going to be in purple, right? Well, we don't just go up to 47% because this doesn't represent 47% of the population. We have to add 47% to our 27. Okay? So I'll do that here. And what did you get?
75.
75. So what that means is our bar graph is now going to reach all the way up to 75, which is maybe about here. Okay? So this was, what did we say, 49? So this guy represents 49%, and we usually make a legend on the side. And then I know my last one, when I add it all up, what should it add, what did we say this was at?
20.
No, how high do we say this reached now? 75?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. 75. Yeah.
Should be 76.
Oh, yeah.
76. And then when we add our last one, which is our high blood pressure, in yellow, I hope we can see it. When we add this 23%, can you see that, kind of?
Kind of.
Yeah, let's use another color. Let's just use black for it, okay? 23%. Well, when I add 23%, what percentage should we be at?
100.
100, because this encompasses everyone who's under 30. So this is 100% of the population, okay? So we know that this bar represents 49%, this bar on top represented 23, and the bar on the bottom represented 27. So we can look at them in reference to each other. Remember, purple was medium, black was high, within high blood pressure, kind of like you're going to die, black. And green, good to go, is low. Hey, that worked out good. Okay? So we can look at this and go, look, a lot of people fell in the medium area under 30 in terms of percentage. And high and low were almost the same percentages, either a little more under low than high. But that's what that stacked bar graph goes. Now we would compare another stacked bar graph. We should technically find the percentages of this one here. So 37 out of 179. 20?
20.6%.
Let's just say 20%.
Okay.
91 out of 179.
50.
Okay. That's 50 on the dot almost.
50.8.
Okay. So the next one should be about 30, I think. Figure it out though. 51 divided 179.
Is that recorded?
28.
20. Okay, so we'll see around it. Almost done. So, under the low category, we had 20%. So let's put this together again. Well, we know 20 works out really good. It's right there. That represented 20. The next one represented 50. Well, what's 20 plus 50 off the top of your head? Do you know?
70.
70, that's right. So this one's going to reach up to 70, even though this bar represents 50%. Together, they reach to 70, which means our last one, we know it's got to reach to 100. Well, 70 plus 30 makes perfect sense. So now we can kind of put them in comparison to each other. I was hoping to be a bigger difference. It actually looks like these ones are pretty much similar.
Okay.
But we could have organized this segmented bar graph very differently. We could have done it by low blood pressure. So this could have been low, and then we could have had these being age groups, which would have been a very different segmented bar graph.
Right.
Okay, so there's many ways to set this up. So we've kind of done this one. You're going to have to do another bar graph in reference to blood pressures after that. Okay, but that's how you set up a segmented bar graph.